Hey guys, so let's say you've gone through the wall sit and the lunge in the previous videos, and although those activities have gotten easier, you're feeling stronger with them, your ankle is still not where you want it to be and where you need it to be. You still don't trust them. Well, oftentimes, if that is still the case, then we need to flesh out some ranges of motion that you may not be able to control, to coordinate, or feel like you can steady your body over and through that foot without the ankle going over. And what we're going to go over in this video is how to begin to control your ankle getting down into this pointed position that we call plantar flexion. Alright, so what's the big deal with plantar flexion? Well, plantar flexion is when your foot points down and the ankle gets to this end range. And the reason this can be so problematic for folks that always roll their ankle is, well, one, that's oftentimes the position that the ankle goes over, that you've had the injury in to begin with, and may even repeatedly injure it in. But this also happens to be the position where the joint is the loosest. It has the greatest freedom to move and the greatest laxity. And ligaments help us sense where our body is. It helps us sense, are we near an end range? Do we need to pull back? How do we need to react? And when you have a sprain, much less repeated strains, there can be some laxity that happens at them, but oftentimes they also get a little shook up and a little dumb. So we often need to re-educate the ankle, the joint at any part of our body, of how to function and how to handle all ranges, especially these extreme ones where perhaps a repeated injury can occur. Now you got all these band exercises that you can do, and if they were going to be enough, you probably wouldn't be watching this video right now. You would probably be doing just fine. So what we're going to do is do an exercise where you will weight bear through your feet, and we're going to put your ankles in this plantar flex position where you may have a hard time steadying and keeping your feet flat on the ground, and we're going to work on shifting your weight and body up above it, very similar to the lunge that we did in the previous video. And one of the easiest ways to do this is with a low bridge. Now, there's all different kinds of bridges. This is a low alternating bridge. And the reason it's called a low bridge is because you're going to be driving up through your hips, but your butt never really leaves the ground too much. So sweet spot is when your knees and your hips are at 90 degrees, and then you're going to weight bear through your arms, and you're just going to hover button. You could do like a really high tabletop bridge, but that's not what we're doing this for. You just get your butt up off the ground. Now, what we want are your feet flat. And what you may need to do is play with the width of your feet and perhaps even let your knees fall in, just like with the wall sit activity, to keep feet flat. And we want to keep your foot flat while you're doing this exercise and repping it out. So find your width, let your knees fall in if you need to, and then make sure that you can feel your arms working between your shoulder blades. You don't want to be hanging out on your shoulders while you're doing this. You want some muscles to be helping you out. And the first thing that you're going to do is simply lift one leg and then the other. One leg and then the other. Now, this should not be hard, but if it is, or if your ankle feels unsteady, this is where you start. If it is not that hard, you move on. And the next level would be keep both feet down and you reach with an arm and then the other. And with an arm and with the other. And you want to keep both feet flat, but you feel how your weight will shift to one ankle, one foot more than the other, and it's going to be the diagonal one from the arm that's staying down. So right here I'm on my right arm, there should be more weight going into that opposite left foot. Now I'm on my left arm, it should be in my right foot. And you're just going back and forth. Keep gaze forward, because we got to work on shifting your head back and forth, just like we talked about with that lunge in the previous video. So okay, that's step 2. That shouldn't be too hard, but it might be for some of you. Work on that. What we're trying to get to is when you get an opposite arm and leg leaving the ground, so we can work on how you're planting the foot that's staying on the ground. And that's how we start training, steadying your ankle when it's in this plantar flex position. as long as you keep your foot flat on the ground, and shoes are going to help, or doing it on like a plush carpet where it's pushing up into your feet is going to help. As long as you can sense weight on the inside of your foot, weight through maybe even a bit of your arch, definitely your big toe, and you're not rolling off of it and just to the outside of your foot, as long as you've got that, I don't care how far your knees go in, it's going to work out. So you get the hover butt, you checked all the boxes with the other ones, and then you go tap, tap, back and forth. And what you want is, yeah, this left arm working, but that right foot is flat. Right arm is working, left foot is flat. You just go back and forth, 4, 5, even up to 10 times each way. Some of you might feel the back of your legs, your hamstrings working pretty good while you're doing it. But the point is to get you confident and familiar, having your ankle in that vulnerable position that with repetition, it's going to become familiar and not a problem. So try this on out. Let me know if you got any questions about it. Regardless, I hope your ankles are doing great. I hope you're well.